Terry, listen to this. For $9.88 a copy, but this is where it's where you can find it. It's in a category called Paranormal, Occult, and Supernatural Kids Books.
Yep.
Why is there even...
Jesus 911.
Good morning, Jesus 911 here, Eddie Chavez. Single man car, but we have a distinguished guest today. Terry Barber's with us from Terry and Jesse Show. How you doing, Terry?
I'm doing well, and I've always enjoyed riding with my police friends in the car. What they call ride-alongs?
Ride-alongs, yeah.
I've been on many of them, and I've never had a dull moment. So I'm glad to be here, brother.
Good. Listen, we're glad to have you, Terry. We're going to talk about a few things today. We're going to talk a little bit later about just basically a catechesis on purgatory. But we're going to start off with one article that I wanted to share. This is what happened here. It's about Walmart selling a children's book of demons. This is interesting. It's very interesting. It says this. For parents looking to introduce their kids to devil worship, Walmart and Amazon are now selling a new children's book entitled A Children's Book of Demons. In the About section, the publishers try to turn the act of summoning demons into a kid-friendly activity, saying that summoning demons has never been so much fun. The site categorizes the book as a playful guide to conjure demons to communicate with the spirit. The children's product is listed for children's ages 5 to 10 and inspires kids to create demons of their own. The book is a sort of coloring book whereby kids can draw demons using a system of sigils.
What are sigils?
Sigils is a sign, some kind of a word that is said to have an occult connection and meaning. Yeah.
Got it.
So that's what it's talking about. It's basically and it'll describe it here in a second that it's like a phone number for the demons. But what do you think about this, Terry?
I think it's horrible, and mom and dad should be able to have the backup to be able to tell their kids why this is wrong. And I hope everybody listening to Jesus 911 owns a catechism of the Catholic Church, because in paragraph 2116, it condemns just this. It says all forms of divination are to be rejected. Recourse to Satan or demons conjured up the dead or other practices falsely supposed to be unveil the future, consulting horoscopes, astrology, palm readers, interpretations of omens, lots. It goes on and on. I'm not going to read the whole paragraph, but what I will say, Mom and Dad, is you should have your backup, because the kids are not going to go, well, why is that a problem, Mom? And you can show that our church is giving us direction to stay away from those things.
You know, Terry, the funny thing is that this book is... it's incredible that they're even selling this at Walmart through Amazon. Yeah. But one of the things that I noticed about this article, the first paragraph of it, was that it's meant for children ages between 5 and 10. And in my estimation, that's before, during, and after a child's age of reason.
That's right.
So that can bring somebody into the demonic right at the time when they need it the least.
Well, very well said. And this is unfortunately going on in our culture, not just at Walmart, but all other places. And that's why mom and dad need to be vigilant to say, what are our kids reading? What are they watching? And mom and dad have the authority given by God to say no and to discipline those children, to say, you're not going to have it here at my house. And I only say this because you're saving that child from a lot of horrible situations, because once that demon gets inside that child, it's going to be difficult to get rid of it. Isn't that a fair statement?
No, absolutely, Terry. That's true. And what goes on here a little bit further, it explains a little bit in the article, which makes it even more problematic. Mm-hmm. It talks about how the book invites readers to conjure gentle demons using these sigils. And they actually go through and say that the demons necessitate specific summons. A riddler named Corydon requires a sigil drawn in bright red, the color of a clown's nose preferably, while you're giggling. Now, it talks about the three, some demons. It says they include Flatulus, whose talent is passing gas, Quasitoro, an expert at finding missing objects, and Spanglox, the best-dressed demon in the underworld. So the multi-eyed, multi-armed, sharp-toothed demons are outlandish without being creepy. And so, to the untrained ear, Terry, this sounds kind of fun for somebody that's uncatechized. It sounds more or less harmless, but the conjuring here is accompanied by a chant. Let's understand what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ritual of drawing a bright red nose while the child is giggling.
Yep.
That's almost a ritual, a ritualistic type of conjuring of a demon.
Yeah. Eddie, I just want to mention this because I'm convinced that this kind of stuff is going on, and I'm going to put the blame on me. What? Yeah, on me. And I'll tell you why. We've lost the supernatural aspect of our faith, okay? As a church, we have to go back to the supernatural, see God, and see the supernatural aspect of everything we do in our life. And what's happened is it's formed a vacuum for people. They're not getting fed at the church level. So what are they doing? They're going into the demonic level. And they're saying, I want to know mystery. I want to know what's going on. I want to get into the occult and figure out what powers I can have. And when in fact, they forgot that if they give themselves to Jesus Christ and his bride, the church, and follow the teachings that Christ laid out and see the supernatural things of life, whether it's the Mass, confession, staying in the state of grace, they wouldn't be looking there, Matt. They wouldn't be looking there, Eddie.
Yes.
So I really think that this whole occult, really, it stepped up. Why? People stopped praying and stopped seeing the supernatural.
I think it was Sheen. I'm not even sure, Terry, but one of them said when a man is knocking on the door of a prostitute's brothel, that he's actually looking for God.
Absolutely.
We could say that with this.
I'm so convinced of it. But
Yes.
you see, that's why there has to be a need for catechesis
Right.
and evangelization, because when people are lost and they don't know, they've taken the wheel, their hands off the wheel, they're just going to go to whatever looks interesting to them. And I really believe not only the occult, but I would even say other religions that are either Mormonism or Jehovah's Witness, Islam, they'll go anywhere to look for something supernatural. But they just don't get it that you can't go to the demonic. But I think the porthole that's opened is that we stopped praying and we stopped seeing ourselves in light of revealed truth of the Christian Catholic message. So therefore, you look elsewhere.
And you know what, Terry, what you're saying essentially is that we as Catholics today, generally speaking in this society, have let our defenses down.
Absolutely.
So the wall that protect us from the flaming darts of the enemy, they're down. And this is what happens. These books are on sale, Terry, listen to this, for $9.88 a copy. But this is where you can find it. It's in a category called Paranormal, Occult, and Supernatural Kids Books.
Yep.
Why is there even a
because
category
we've lost
like
our sense of sin.
That's right. That's exactly right. Good. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next segment, Terry.